Greetings, citizens! Welcome to Stormwind!
United in Stormwind, one of the most hated expansions of all time, for a plethora of different reasons. However, one of my favorite cards to ever exist is part of those reasons. Defend the Dwarven District. At one point, Odd Questline Hunter was the best deck in Wild. You were able to make use of your 3 damage hero power, upgraded from 2 thanks to Baku, and a bunch of really efficient 1-cost spells to complete your quest. Of course, both the quest and Rapid Fire were nerfed, which in effect killed this deck from ever existing. I've tried numerous times to try and make it work, it's just not worth playing. Losing Rapid Fire is just never going to make up for playing Odd. I bet you think this video is about a really basic Questline Hunter deck, didn't you? And you're wrong. This is Handbuff Questline Hunter. Concierge allows you to play Cup of Muscle for 0 mana, so you can play Concierge and then 3 Cups of Muscle for 0 mana. On paper, that alone isn't that crazy, you could have just spent the mana for Cup of Muscle, but if you include Tidepool Pupil into the mix, you can then discount more cups. You can use Brand to generate more cups with your Tidepool Pupil, and it's really, really fun, especially because sometimes you aren't going to be able to kill your opponent through a burn game plan through the quest. Sometimes it just doesn't happen, but you can soften them up for a cleave kill condition with Hollowhound and Always Bigger Jormungandr. Because it's genuinely so cheap, you can actually play the Cup Tidepool Pupil Concierge combo for 4 or 5 mana, depending on how many pupils you have. And that's not insignificant. Buffing your Hollowhounds is huge. It wins you so many games if you're able to play it. Look here in this clip. I wasn't really able to get my quest completed very much at all, but because I had Always Bigger Jormungandr and a giant Hollowhound, I was able to win through that. The alternate win condition does matter, and you're already running these cards, so having this extra just little combo piece isn't that bad. Messenger Buzzard is your best friend. It's one of the best cards in Hunter, and arguably one of the best cards in the entire deck because it's able to buff up your hand, which is very useful in a burn deck like this to be able to have large minions, and it's able to buff your Hollowhound, which is easily the best card in the entire deck, probably one of the best cards in Hunter. Hollowhound allows you to clear the board and heal at the same time, which is something that Hunter can't do. Hunter doesn't have healing aside from Hollowhound, and I guess armor from hero cards, but you're not running any hero cards because you don't want to ruin your hero power in this deck. Auction Master Beardo allows you to use your 0-cost hero power without needing Tavish. Of course, if you do have Tavish, Beardo does fall off a bit, but you're able to save up to 4 mana just from using Beardo. Tavish costs 5, and then you need to spend 1 mana a minimum to complete the quest, so Beardo costing 3 saves you 4 mana, which is very important in a lot of games. For ETC, I'm running Sing-Along Buddy, of course, Always a Bigger Jormungandr for Hollowhound, and Dragonbane Shot. Dragonbane Shot is by far the best spell in Questline Hunter. It's just unreal what it allows you to do. It lets you clear boards incredibly efficiently. It lets you send a lot of damage face incredibly efficiently. It's just very, very strong for this deck. Now, let's get to the little combo that everyone's thinking about. Concierge and Cup of Muscle. Is it worth it? I truly believe so. I believe that Concierge, Cup of Muscle, and, of course, the new cards, Tidepool Pupil and All You Can Eat, are significant buffs to Questline Hunter. They give you a lot of draw, they give you more gas for your combos, they give you more mana cheat, and who doesn't want that? What deck in the game doesn't want those 3 things? Cup of Muscle is also, of course, very good at buffing your Hollowhound, and I've already described why Hollowhound is one of the best cards in the entire deck. The healing it provides, the board clear provides, and the fact that it combos with Always a Bigger Jormungandr is just unreal. Now, I will admit, there are weaknesses to this deck. It's not very good against Warrior in any way, shape, or form. Armor is just a real killer for most Hunter decks, so that's not really that big of an issue. You're just not able to get through 60 health in a game very consistently, even with all the more gas that you have. It's just not really doable. That doesn't mean that you can't try, though. You can spend your entire turn spamming hero powers to do as much damage as you want, and sometimes it's not enough, but that doesn't make it any less fun. Just, make sure you're not like me and miss the most obvious lethals ever because you want to have a little fun with your opponent. Questline Hunter is made to farm Reno decks. That's really what it's best at. You farm Reno Priest, you farm Reno Shaman, you can beat Reno Druid, that's really where it's good, and then it's just pretty good into aggro overall. You run a lot of removal, you run a lot of healing with Hollowhound, so it's not the worst thing ever in those matchups. Of course, completing the quest is the whole point of the deck. You want to be getting Tavish down, you want to be hero powering your opponent to the face, and it's really fun. If you've never played this deck before, it's relatively high APM, at least for a lot of Hearthstone standard, and you just are able to deal so much damage to your opponent's face. And then, of course, you get to use Buddy. You get to use all of our best friends. You get to use the best card ever made. The single greatest pinnacle of Team 5's invention. Sing Along Buddy. This card allows for so much damage. Doubling up on your hero power, it's just disgusting. I love Sing Along Buddy so much. I don't think it's a main deck card, though, is kind of the issue. This is the list I've provided. Of course, you can run different lists if you want. This is more running as many defensive tools as I could slot in. There's so many cards you actually do want in this deck that you just can't run. Like cards like Ricochet Shot or Shimmer Shot would fit in perfectly. It's just, what do? You want to be running these new cards, and they take up a lot of space. You don't necessarily need to be running something like Brand Bronzebeard, I will admit. That's more something that was just fun, but it's still not the worst thing ever. I still think it's better than cards like Ricochet Shot and Shimmer Shot, Arcane Shot, Barb Net, things like that. Hunter has so many tools that most other classes could only dream of. It has one of the best removal combos in the entire game of Dreadscale and Serpent Bloom. It has one of the best cards ever printed in Hollowhound, and of course, it makes the best use of Sing Along Buddy. These tools just allow you to survive longer into the game, so you can beat other aggro decks that should have beaten you. Can you really blame me, though, for wanting to play a deck like this that buffs up Hollowhound? Come on, it's just such a good card. The main problem is that Questline Hunter just kinda sucks. It doesn't really matter what new flashy tools you try and give it, such as Shimmer Shot, Barb Net, Ricochet Shot, anything like that, when the core issue of the deck is that losing out on +1 damage from your hero power by playing Odd hurts a lot. You're not able to apply pressure anymore. So the nerf to the quest itself and Rapid Fire are what has killed the deck. I miss Questline Hunter. I really do. It's one of my favorite decks to ever exist. A lot of Hunter players desperately want it to come back and have tried to make it work for going on 3 years now, but it's never going to happen. It's not a very healthy deck to exist, I'll be honest. It's just really, really, really annoying that other classes can have super unhealthy decks that never get touched. You're gonna tell me that Miracle Rogue really never needs to be nerfed and Questline Hunter needed to get double nerfed into complete obscurity? It's very unfortunate. That being said, you can still have fun. So, is Questline Hunter playable again? No, I really don't believe it is. It's unfortunate that I get to suffer like this, and, I've still played it. I've still already jammed, 30-something games with it, but it's just not very good. It loses to basically everything. It's not that good into aggro. It's not very good into giants, and if you're only beating maybe a quarter of the decks you're coming across, the deck just isn't good. I can't even beat Questline Warlock with it consistently, and that deck literally deals 30 damage to itself. So, what does that say about this one? And so, we mark another chapter in the failure that is Questline Hunter without being reverted. Well, that's gonna be it from me. It took me a long time to make this one. I've changed up my style, and I'm trying to make longer content like this, so it'd really help if you guys could subscribe, like the video, and just leave a comment. It helps a lot. Tell me what you thought. Did you like the deck that I showcased? Did you like this style of deck showcase? It really would mean a lot. But yeah, that's going to be it for me, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Shadows are rising again!
Darker than they've ever been.